We've done some pretty crazy alternate builds on this channel, but nothing more ambitious, more crazy, more intense than what I've accomplished in this video. You might be asking yourself, what have I built? Well, that will be revealed very shortly, but first I would like to take you all back 3 days when I had this idea. Here we are. Welcome to Sawyer Studios. The Coruscant Guard Gunship and the ATOT Walker, two phenomenal playscale sets from LEGO. But what if we doubled that? What if we got 2 of each?
That's right, we are going to be taking 2 ATOT Walkers, one brand new, one that I got when it originally came out, and then 2 Republic Coruscant Gunships, and we're going to see if we can make a Republic Dropship with ATOT Walker Coruscant version. Let's go. The reason why I'm using 2 ATOT Walkers and 2 Gunships, I think I am going to need some pieces from the ATOT Walkers for the Dropship. We only need 8 legs for an ATOT. We get 12 legs with 2 ATTs. So what are we going to do with these other 4 legs? Maybe use them for the grip handles for the dropship, maybe? That was what I was thinking too. We're gonna try to utilize all these pieces for everything, so using some of these maroon pieces to spruce that up might also be great. And not only do I have the 3 original instruction booklets from the ATOT Walker and Dropship set when I originally was gifted this for Christmas back in 2011, I believe it was. Man, that was a long time ago. For those of you who are new to the channel, I did a Mocktober contest a while back, and my Dropship and ATOT Walker was in fact the prize for that contest. And as far as I'm aware, the first place winner is enjoying the set very much so. I also have the original sticker sheet, and I know a lot of people use the Wampa decals for the side of the dropship. I decided to go with the Droid arms instead. So I still have the OG sticker sheet with the unused Wampa stickers from this set. So that, I think, is pretty cool. And for this project, I am going to be referencing these instruction booklets, sort of giving me an idea of how to go about making the ATOT Walker, maybe manufacturing the dropship. I don't want it to be like a carbon copy of that, but I am going to utilize it sort of as somewhat of a guide. Obviously, I'm going to keep the same leg designs here versus the ones that we see here. I don't really see a need to change those, especially since I'm making ATOT Walker derived from the ATT Walker, and it is supposed to be updated. It's not going to be a one-to-one with the pieces, but this is definitely going to be somewhat of a guide helping me along in this mock process. I'm really excited to get started, everyone. So let's go to some time lapses and let's get to it. part 1 is done. Here is the ATOT Walker. Some of you have seen the SolidWorks Studios version. A lot of this cockpit design is from his brilliant mod, so I did want to point that out right now, that I took a lot of this cockpit design from him. It was just so genius. I did, however, change some stuff, such as I wanted the head part to be more reminiscent of the ATOT Walker from the original set. So it has like the wings out here, the more congruent flat top. This does move back all the way when there's no clone sitting there, sort of like the actual ATOT Walker.
I've also changed some of the interior of the cockpit. As you can see, I'm using a different control piece than SolidWorks Studios used. That's the side profile. You can see that it does seat 15 clones in the back of the ATOT Walker, and the ramp design, actually we had, funny enough, the exact pieces to make this verbatim from the original, but I wanted to spruce it up, sort of update it a little bit, so I took some liberties of that. As you look at the bird's eye view, you can see the seating placements, which I think are great. And I also added some backrests to the seats, which I think add to the effect very nicely. You even get the places to add guns to the side so the clones can shoot from up above. And you also have 2 clips on both sides, one for a DC rifle and one for a pair of white binoculars that come in the ATT sets. You might be asking what this is, and for those hardcore LEGO Star Wars fans, you will know, but for those of you who don't, it will all be revealed shortly, I promise.
But with that being said, everyone, let's go into part 2 time-lapse, see what we can do about making 2 gunships into a dropship that can carry this ATOT Walker. Everyone, it's been 2 days now, and I just want to show you what I have so far of the dropship. I think it looks great. I think it's really gonna come together and look like an actual dropship. I mean, we have the size, we even have the handle at the top, just like the original one. I can't wait to make the wings. Obviously, we'll be able to make them twice as long as the gunship's wings because we have 2 gunships worth of pieces to work with, so I'm very excited for that. Obviously, we'll have to change the engine design, but I'm not seeing that as an issue. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty epic. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just the body, the wings, and then match that with the ATOT Walker. We got ourselves a dropship and ATOT Walker, guys. All right, day 3, here we go. Alright everyone, this is all of the spare pieces, leftover pieces that I have from 2 ATT Walkers and 2 Coruscant Republic gunships. But let me just tell you, before I reveal everyone, this dropship ATOT Walker, I just want to say, this is by far the most proudest alternative build I've ever made. Here we go. Doesn't this look so good? Oh my goodness. I'm still in awe of how this dropship came out. Oh my goodness.
So here is the dropship, and I think I did a pretty good job keeping to the aesthetic, to the design, to sort of the character of the Coruscant Guard gunship, but just turning it into a dropship. We have the classic 2 bubble turrets in the front. We have the 1 rear in the back. We can see that there is a singular seat for a pilot clone, and also the front does in fact open up. This is reminiscent to the original dropship. If any of you had that, there was a missile rack in the middle, so instead of a missile rack, I just have sort of like a little collection of missiles. We even have a little wrench and a pistol, which if you orient it in a certain way, because this is also reminiscent to the original dropship, they did have a rear door which you could access, and as you can see, you can access the pistol and the wrench very easily if you pull that ramp down. And then you can also put the ramp back up in place and close it up. Along the side, we do have some control panels, some inner working. There are 2 bin in the original one. On the inside there, you can see there's the fire extinguisher from the ATTE set. And on this side, there is some more control panels as well with a Republic insignia decal. And, I use the design from the gunship, sort of like the on-side plating for design. And then, of course, this also opens up just like the original dropship. So many of the things were I kept the same. The only thing, unfortunately, on the wings is that I do not have the quadruple flickfire missiles underneath, but the engines, similar design to the dropships. I like how I kept the diagonal stripes from the gunship and put them on the wings. I think they look really nice. In the back, in the original dropship, you could open up that flap to a little storage compartment, which you can still do with this one. So I've kept that as well. And then you can see that we have those ATOT Walker big sort of like pivotal middle leg pieces used for these grips, and we do have the Technic inner workings for that feature I was talking about, which we'll get to in a second. The handle is also functional, just like the original dropship having a handle at that point. It's a little front heavy, just because of how the proportions ended up working. But now this is what you've been waiting for, everyone, right? I have not tested this out. This is the first time you are watching me live right now see if this is going to work. And because I didn't have rubber bands, because I didn't have the same Technic pieces, I had to sort of change it up a bit with how this was going to connect. I tried to make it very similar, but as you can see, we've connected the two, and here we go. Yeah, it works, everyone. The dropship can carry the ATOT Walker. That's an accomplishment. That's A+. This is a success. This alternative build is officially a success, and it looks so good carrying it. Like, you just want this to be a Lego set now? There's the back view of the dropship carrying the ATOT Walker. You can see it lines up pretty dang nicely. Yeah, and the head of the ATOT doesn't have to be folded up like in the original set. There's enough space for it to just be picked up and then landed. And here are a couple other angles and viewpoints of them together. Wow, everyone, there it is. It's the Coruscant version of the dropship with ATOT Walker. I am so proud of this.
Wow, everyone, just wow. I don't know if any of you had doubts. I most certainly had doubts about this, like whether or not this was gonna work. And we did it. It took 2 ATT Walkers and 2 Coruscant Guard gunships, but we made what I think is a worthy testament to the Republic dropship with ATOT Walker. It turned out way better than anticipated, and actually it works. Like the main function works, which is the important part, and it's heavy. It's it's bringing me back. It's bringing me back to the memories when I had this set. Here it is again, working in its full glory. I mean, I still can't believe that it functions. Like that's just insane to me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. Honestly, I wouldn't be making these crazy alternate builds without your support. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of comments asking if I'm gonna make instructions for this. Probably not. The ATOT Walker, I do think that's great. Of course, I would have, once again, if I were to make instructions for the ATOT Walker, it'd be free, because you know the cockpit, which I would argue is the harder part of this build, I did, as I said, accredited to SolidWorks Studios' cockpit. Took a lot of building techniques and ideas from him, which helped me a lot in that creative process. So I wouldn't sell those, but you know, maybe I'd be willing to make instructions for the ATOT Walker. As I said, really happy how this turned out. Thank you everyone for watching. Please, if you think this is awesome, give this video a like and comment. Just comment anything. It helps with the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to Story Studios, I mean, why not? I mean, we do awesome stuff like this all the time. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on even cooler builds coming up later. Anyway, that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for, once again, your support. And yeah, I will see you all in the next alternate build. Bye.